Hello beauties, welcome back to my channel. Sorry, I'm feeling a bit sheepish because I have an apology to make. I'm so sorry it's taken me so long to get around to filming and uploading this video, pregnancy Q&A about my second pregnancy. Pregnancy 2. I'm pregnant again. I'm actually 25 or 26 weeks pregnant and my baby girl Birdie, actually, let me get her. My baby girl Birdie Blue is, how old are you? Like 2 weeks off of being 1. How is that possible? How is that possible, please? She's growing way too fast and my heart hurts. It's been a lot. We get through all of your questions and the nitty gritty throughout this video. Oh, darling. Do you want to get down and play? Good girl. Oh, she looks so cute. But yeah, I get through all of your questions and I have another apology to make because my mood is not the one at the beginning of the get ready with me and Q&A. I'm stressed. Life is crazy. And I won't go into much more detail because I, of course, am going to explain it throughout the course of this video. And yeah, but if you want to know how I created this makeup look using lots of new fancy products. Oh, she's kissing herself in the mirror. So cute. And if you want to know how I'm feeling about this second pregnancy and everything, all the juicy gossip, then keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a little like and comment down below. Sorry if I missed any of your questions. Feel free to ask any more below. Now's your opportunity if I miss anything out, and I'll be answering you back in the comments. That's very annoying, really annoying. Buzzy's not going to be in this video because he's downstairs shaping up the house, but I kind of explain how he feels about it all later on. And yeah, I'm sorry again for my foul mood at the beginning of this, but let's go. You tell him. Oh, I feel so stressed, guys. It's gonna be a miracle if I get through this or even start this. I've been trying to start this video, no joke, for over a week. Not even just throughout today. Like every day I'm like, right, come on. And do you know what? It's actually been a really stressful time, so it's a miracle that I'm sat down right now. I wanted Birdie to be here, but she just won't sleep today, so she's a bit grumpy. She's downstairs with Buzzy. Our house is upside down. We're renovating this house and about to start a whole build on another one. We go on holiday next week, but it's bad timing because it's Black Friday and then I've got businesses. Oh, it's stressful. I'm stressed. But this is quite an appropriate time to talk about everything because it's my pregnancy Q&A, and I've got all your questions that I want to get through and answer as I get ready. So hopefully I'm going to film the intro to this video once I'm ready because I just feel like shiz right now. We have some new makeup to play with, some of my favourite OG products, and then some newness that hopefully will make me feel like a new woman. Don't even have any nails on, so don't judge. You guys know I am positive Penny. I've never said that before. Why would I say that? Oh, I'm so annoying. Okay, can you? Mum. Right, silent mode. I'm normally positive Penny, but today I'm negative Nancy. And Birdie's crying. I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh, I never cry. I never cry unless I'm pregnant. It's a new thing that happens once every year apparently. I get pregnant and then I stop crying again. No, let's get through this Q&A. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna put my makeup on then. My nose is gonna run. No, I need some tissue. This is so chaotic already. Oh, Huda Beauty. Okay. Now we're talking. Let's just have a look at this to make our hearts feel better. Wow. This is the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette. Look at the shades, please. Thank you. Okay, let's get the foundation ready so I can answer your questions as I go. I've got a bit of moisturiser on my skin, just a Murad Vitamin C one, which I love, absolutely love. It's really, really nice. I haven't got a mirror. Oh, here we go. Let's use this. Okay. questions. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. And I'm sorry that it's taken so long to actually sit down and answer them. I am currently 25 or 26 weeks. I have lost count. I need to look at my app. And this pregnancy has been very different to my first. So I did pregnancy Q&As in my first one. Obviously I documented the whole journey from start to finish, from the moment that I found out to telling you guys to even giving birth. So it's all on there and you can see the comparison of journeys, but to this year. I feel like this time, do you know what? Let me just make sure that I'm answering your questions, because this time has been different. And I'll tell you why. It's because I've got a baby this time round. We're not locked down anymore. So life is back in action, which is amazing. But it's just extra stressful because it's, you know, extra work. I work full time. I went back to working full time from home mostly. When she was, you know, about 6 months old, I was working from the day that, no, not the day I gave birth, like from a few weeks after I gave birth, just, you know, here and there, a few hours I started off with, and then a day here and there, maybe a month after, and then I just kind of was doing a few hours a day. She was as good as gold, so obviously Instagram and YouTube, I was able to kind of update with lifestyle content, not too much sponsored beauty or fashion, but yeah, so that was really amazing. I was really lucky and enjoyed every part of that. I didn't feel pressured to get back too soon, but I feel pressured this time round, and I'm still not answering your questions, sorry. I'm kind of answering questions that I know are here though. But let's just start off with, was the new baby planned? No, not necessarily. So it wasn't planned to be this soon. However, 100% Buzzy and I knew that we wanted to be blessed with another little baby and give Birdie a little brother or sister. So it's absolutely in the pipeline. And I'm going to say that we probably would have waited maybe a couple of years or a year. Definitely didn't expect it to happen at 6 months, but I was very broody, I have to admit, in the first few months. Not by the time I got to 6 months, I have to say, I was starting to feel like myself again, you know, get my body back, and it was a shock. So it wasn't planned, but we always wanted to have another baby. So yeah, I guess it was, and it wasn't an accident either really, it's just one of those things, it's the same as last time, where we just didn't think. We didn't think. How many months was BB when you fell pregnant? She'd just turned 6 months, or wasn't quite 6 months. And then when I found out, she was nearly 7 months, because I was like a month pregnant when I found out, I think. We don't know the gender yet, but we are going to find out. Are you going to do a gender reveal? Yeah, we're going to do a gender reveal. Don't know when, probably around December time. Is it safe to breastfeed if you're pregnant? I mean, it's definitely safe, but I found it very hard because your boobs get sore again. So it was a little bit tricky, and I stopped after a few months of being pregnant. Actually only just recently. BB is 11 months and I stopped just before she turned, so yeah, when she was 10 months, and she was combi feeding really well anyway, so I felt like it was time. Will you stick to a B name? I would really like to, but I just don't think, I can't think of any names that I like with B. None of my names, other names, have B in them, like on my list. But if there was a name with B, that would be so good, because it'd be like Buzzy, Birdie and Bubba. I call Birdie Berber. How can a child have so many nicknames? I just used the NARS Soft Matte Foundation, which I adore, in Patagonia, and then the Born This Way by Too Faced Born This Way concealer in shade Almond, which is like my favourite concealer ever. Then I'm going to use my contour stick by Clinique, which is the same OG one. I don't want to mess about too much with my base when it comes to new products and tutorials, because I actually want to look good by the end of this. But this is the Chubby Stick by Clinique, the Sculpting Contour 01. Oh, this is a juicy question. Are you mentally and physically prepared for baby number 2? So yes, I think so. mentally prepared, like I need to get a few things in order to feel more prepared, like the house. So I'm pretty much early nesting in this current house, and I've come to the realisation that our new project, so we've had our new house for a year now, guys, and the renovation project still hasn't begun, but it will be very soon. So I needed to just revamp this place to feel a little bit more comfortable, because realistically we are going to be here we are going to be here for another 9 months, I reckon, whilst the build is underway. So once I've got my houses in order, I think I'll feel much better and more mentally prepared. Physically, I feel really fit and healthy, and I'm really lucky to not be in much pain, not have much sickness. I recovered really well with Birdie, well, after Birdie. So after my first birth, I was lucky to not be feeling too sluggish for too long, even though I lost a lot of blood. So yeah, I think I'm ready. Yeah. I mean, it's all been a magical surprise. I know I'm in a little bit of a funk right now, but it has been a magical surprise, and I just am so grateful and blessed and over the moon, and your body feels a million emotions a minute. A million emotions a minute. That is a very good tongue twister if you want to try saying that out loud. But I'll be ready when the baby's ready. Do I think it's a boy or a girl? Do you know what? My gut tells me it's a boy. But I keep changing my mind. So deep down I think, oh, I think this is a boy. But I don't know why that is. I think I'm carrying a bit lower. People keep telling me it's a boy. My moods are very different, Like I feel agitated all the time. Not all the time, but like a little bit more, especially today. Can you tell? Everything just feels a bit different. However, you never know. People told me that I was going to have a boy the first time and ended up having a girl. And do you have a preference? I mean, I don't have a preference. I think if I had a girl, it would be really cute for them to be so close in age, like little twins. Do you know what I mean? And I feel ready to be a girl mum. Like I am a girl mum. But I feel like having a boy, it's so different. I'd be so lucky to have one of each. But am I ready to be a boy mum? So in an ideal world, if I could choose, then I'd say another girl now and a little boy later on down the line. But if it's a boy, that's crazy. And I'm just gonna have like such a magical experience, like bringing up one of each. But we'll find out. It's not gonna be long away. I don't really mind holding out, because at the moment, like, you know, I want the surprises of each phase of pregnancy and this journey to be spread out and not all at once. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not in any rush to find out, but soon. Everyone wants to know the gender. I find it fascinating how obsessed isn't the right word, but like intrigued everyone is by the gender of a baby. Like, do you want to find out the gender? Are you going to find out the gender? Do you know if it's a boy or a girl? Do you want a boy? Do you want another? Like, it's so funny, but it's the first thing you kind of say to someone, isn't it, when they say they're pregnant? Like, do you know what you're having? So, totally understand. I would ask the same questions. Any symptoms that have changed between your first and second pregnancy? Well, as you know, or if you don't, I had COVID during my second pregnancy, and that changed everything for me. Oh my goodness, it was hell. It was absolute hell. I didn't even know I had it for the first week or two, because all the tests were coming back negative, but I knew that it was COVID, but it just wasn't being confirmed by the PCR or the lateral flows. But anyway, the first pregnancy was a breeze. I felt a bit emotional at the start, then had no sickness and just loved it and just was very euphoric, whereas this time I just feel like the long COVID symptoms have carried on, which isn't great. I've got sinusitis, which just means all of my sinuses are all blocked up, so it sounds like I've got a constant cold, and I've had this for the past 3 or 4 months now, so it is a lot. It is different. I feel a bit more sluggish this time, just more tired as well, but you know, I've got baby as well. Oh, I can hear her downstairs. You watching Moana? Does it feel easier the second time round? Not easier, no. I definitely notice it less. but I'm just too busy to just be obsessing over like the growth of my baby. I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my goodness, like my bump is growing, 6 months now. So I find it easier to forget that I'm pregnant. But overall, I wouldn't say it's easier, it's probably harder actually. There's a lot of questions about, concerned about my weightlifting. Like, you were doing deadlifts, like how do you know that it's safe to lift weights during pregnancy? Surely there's a lot of rude messages as well, like as in unkind, saying you're hurting your baby, and I have to deal with that all the time. I dealt with it throughout my first pregnancy with Birdie, because I was working out, and you know, you do get a lot of trolls come out the woodworks when you're pregnant. It's crazy how many people feel entitled to have an opinion or tell you what to do when you're pregnant. It's amazing. But going back to the weightlifting, so you can pretty much carry on doing what you were doing before. You don't want to start weightlifting if you've never done it before, but I've done it for years. So I wasn't progressing and going up in weights. It was a time to just figure out maintenance, just to listen to my body and what it can do. I mean, I weightlifted throughout my first, so there's no reason why I should stop, because she's fit and healthy. There's no advice against it. Make sure that you obviously train with someone who is experienced in prenatal, postnatal. I'm not hurting my baby, I'm not hurting me. I'm gonna be squatting at 9 months pregnant if I can, so yeah. And I've just put Laura Mercier translucent powder all over just to bake. Are you nervous or excited? Both. I'm really excited. It's going to be amazing. 2 little babies is so insane. It's the dream. I always wanted twins. That is my dream, to have twins. It's never going to happen because there's no twins in the family. But this is pretty close, right? Like, they're going to be 14 months apart, or just nearly 15 months apart. Potential names. So I touched on the names list. Well, I said that I didn't have anything beginning with B at the moment. I do have one name beginning with B, but I don't know how likely it is that we'll use it. So yeah, my names list. Well, I actually did a video last year of baby names that we love but we're not going to use. So you can always go back and watch that, because I still love those names. I really do. And I'm going to be doing another video for baby names. I really love this name. Thing is, I want it to be a surprise if obviously I name my baby this, but there's going to be lots of different names. But I really like, I like the name Bunny, because I was nearly called Bunny. That's a bee name. Birdie and Bunny. But is that like, I was nearly called Bunny, so it's between Poppy, Bunny, Tuesday or Chelsea. And I was called Chelsea. Now I'm Cece. I prefer Cece to Chelsea. And I wish I was called Bunny. That's so much cooler. But yeah, stay tuned for my... I can't believe that I said I didn't have any B names and then I suddenly said Bunny. But actually, I don't know if I'm going to use that. Stay tuned for my baby names video part 2, because I'm going to film that over the next couple of weeks. Maybe I'll film that when I'm in Dubai. Anyway, let's move on to bronzer. So this is the Vive bronzing palette, modern bronzer in medium 1 and medium 2. Very proud of Jamie for this amazing brand. She's absolutely smashed it. I haven't tried this yet, but I have tried the lipsticks. They're really lovely. What is the other product that I love? I love the half lashes. And this is a very creamy, beautiful bronzer with a flawless powder finish. Well, it is a powder bronzer, but like, you know, when something just blends so beautifully. Really nice. I'm actually doing my auntie's makeup for her wedding tomorrow. So that should be nice. And BB's a little bridesmaid. So I look forward to that. I might use this bronzer on her. I'm going to use this little freckle tint now. It's by Barry M. And you have to work with it quite quickly because you put on a few dots. It's like a liquid. And then you reprint with your finger. So you almost like pick up the product and then reprint with it. But I like to put that on before my blush or highlight. I also want to revisit the question, was it planned? Because Honestly, that's such a common question. It's probably the most popular one. And I don't know if I've explained myself properly, because so many people will say, well, weren't you using protection? So just to clarify, we weren't using protection. I didn't have any plans of using any contraception. However, people said that when you exclusively breastfeed, your periods are going to be more irregular, which was the case for me. They might not even come back for a while, and it's a form of contraception, but not to trust it. So I thought, well, I'm exclusively breastfeeding at the moment. We won't use any like other methods. And I didn't honestly mind if I was to fall pregnant. I just didn't think about it enough to think that it would happen, if that makes sense. It was like, if it was gonna happen, it was gonna happen. But I honestly thought, for the amount that, you know, we weren't crazily active, because of course, like, I'd just given birth and everything was still healing. But also people say that you're really fertile after you've given birth. So it is a little bit mixed messages, not gonna lie. There was a few times when I thought, oh my goodness, I could have another baby right now. And then I thought, oh my goodness, no, not at the moment. Maybe in, like, you know, give myself some more time, give us time to obviously adjust to having a life with little Birdie. And I did feel a bit guilty at first that I was going to be sharing my time between two babies, and she hadn't even had, well, I just felt bad being pregnant again when she was still so tiny. But I do want to reinforce how truly happy I am about this. I said before, I feel like I have manifested it, because ultimately I didn't want her to be an only child. I grew up as an only child. I've got a gorgeous half sister, but sadly we weren't brought up together. And I just kept saying I just really want her to have a brother or sister. So the fact that it happened so soon is a miracle, really, in itself. I honestly feel like what's meant to be will be. I've just used my absolute fave, Precisely My Brows, on my brow by Benefit, in shade 3.5. Just kind of brushed them up and then created little brow strokes with that. So let's move on to, I've used this rose quartz palette, just like the pinky tones, as blush, because I feel like that just really fits the vibe. But let's move on to my eyes. I'll zoom you in a bit more. Well, this is a good question. Are you afraid of labour and birth again? No, I'm not afraid at all. I wasn't afraid the first time. Well, not once I had done a kind of hypnobirthing course online. So I feel confident, but at the same time, I go between not knowing if I'm going to, not give up, that's the wrong word, like give in to painkillers a bit sooner, because I feel like I've done it now, I've accomplished it, I've done it without painkillers. I've done it the natural way, and I've got nothing to prove. Not that I'm proving it to anyone, but just to myself, I guess. And part of me is like, oh, I hope that I can stay strong, like, but you can never plan how a birth is going to kind of go. But the other part of me is like, no, I've got this, I've done it, I can do it again. And if anything, surely it's going to be easier this time. And it's going to be quicker. My body hasn't even like gone back to what it was before, so surely it's open and ready. But I'm actually really excited. I loved my birth, my labour, everything. I loved it. It was hard. Oh my goodness, it was so hard, but I love a challenge. I loved everything about it. It was magical. It was intense, and yeah, probably the most, like, when I say pain, just pain is associated with something that is unexpected. And when I say unexpected, like something that's not meant to happen to you, like if you break your leg, you're not supposed to break your leg, it's not natural. So it hurts and you're in pain, and it's like, ah, the unknown, this isn't supposed to happen. Whereas us women are quite literally made to give birth. And once you understand every phase of the labour and birth and what is happening to your body, you start to not view it as painful. It's just an intense feeling, because you know nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Your body is doing exactly what it needs to do. You just have to breathe through it. Well, you can do what you want for it. You can take the pain medication, whatever you know, whatever you need to do to get that baby out safely. And of course we have to listen to the doctors too on what we're advised. Just to let you know, I'm using a mixture of this pink shade and these two little warm shades, and I'm going to pop maybe this purple. Oh no, Moon Magic. Look at Moon Magic. This one, Moon Magic. Let's put a bit of that on my lid. Sorry, this isn't actually the best makeup tutorial ever so far, is it? But you know, we're just getting ready to get there and answering questions, to be honest. Oh, that really is Moon Magic. Oh my goodness. A bit of energised in the crease, not the crease, the inner corner. And the brow bone. Ooh. Oh, makeup, you do make me feel better. I'm sorry. Wow. Wow. Guys, I haven't done a makeup tutorial in so long. Obviously I've been putting makeup on, but I apologise for my absence of makeup tutorials because there are so many products that you need to know about. This is one of them. Huda never disappoints when it comes to her palettes or general products, to be honest. I'm just going to blend that. Oh, this is a good question. What have you learnt from your first baby and that you're not going to do for your second? Congrats, thank you. Thank you to everyone for your kind words, honestly. Your messages and questions are just laced with love and I love you so much. So, what's the question again? What have I learned from my first baby that I'm not going to do for my second? I'm definitely going to give this baby a dummy sooner if it wants one, so you know, like a pacifier. I held out for so long with BB and it just comforted her so much in the end. So, and she liked it. Not all babies like dummies. I don't know why I held out. I think because I didn't have a dummy when I was a baby and I sucked my fingers. Like people suck their thumb, I sucked these two fingers. So I just wondered if she would start doing something like that. But actually, I think it's better for her to suck a dummy because you can take it away when she gets a bit older, whereas you can't take fingers or thumbs away. So that's one thing. I mean, that's not exactly, you know, a monumental thing, is it? It's just something I always think about. I've definitely learned that I bought too many clothes. Newborn babies, they just live in little onesies. They don't need little snazzy outfits. I spent so much money on Birdie's clothes. I don't regret it, really, but I'm not going to do it again. Sorry, baby number two. You're going to get a load of hand-me-downs and just your absolute essentials, I'm afraid. Because, I mean, they're literally like one size for a minute and then they grow and then they're a different size and it's like you can't keep up. You have to buy new clothes every few weeks. I'm not even kidding. So that was crazy. I probably will try to put this baby down a little bit more. I guess I did with BB, but Buzzy did carry her round a lot. So maybe we'll put her in a rocker a little bit sooner rather than keeping her strapped to us at all times. I'm just going to try and get them into a better sleep routine sooner. I learned that I didn't need to take so long with Birdie. She's amazing now, really amazing. She sleeps all the way through, but you'd hope so for a 1-year-old. She's in her own room now. Oh, that kind of breaks my heart. That's a new thing this week. She's been in her cot next to us for ages, more because of the house logistics. There wasn't space in her nursery and we've been moving everything around, and I liked having her in my room when she wakes up and plays with her little books and reads them and cuddles her toys and I'm spying on her. I love it. This is working out quite nice, isn't it? No, let's just do mascara and lashes. Oh, we're actually not far off done, guys. No, I really enjoyed everything I did. I think I'd try and take the baby out sooner, getting out for walks. We were locked in because it was actual real life lockdown, so we couldn't, but I feel like I didn't use the push chair, like didn't take her out in her pram for months. So this time I want to get out. By the way, guys, if you have any recommendations for 2 under 2, for double buggies, for life hacks, I don't know. Oh, should I do a hacks video? Not that I know loads, but there's been some that have helped me out. Okay, I'm obsessed with that eye look. Let's move on to lashes. I have some Vive lashes in HL4 Enhance. Knowing what you know now, you've had BB, will you breastfeed again or go straight to formula? Has it changed my perspective? I can imagine having a newborn and a 1-year-old breastfeeding would be tough. I know lots do it. Well, basically, I loved breastfeeding. However, it got really hard when I fell pregnant. And the taste of it changed, so Birdie was like feeding then going like that. It was really funny. And yeah, just overall, like, it was quite painful, and I wasn't stressed though. I just thought, you know what, we've had a really good run, it's been 10 months, I'm proud of myself, and she's happy enough to take the bottle. She wasn't even asking for breast milk after a month of kind of slowing it down, so it made me a little bit sad because we lost, well, we haven't lost a bond, but you do feel like that little bit of, oh, I miss the cuddles when we're feeding, like. But I want to do it again if my second baby takes to it as well as we did, Birdie and I. So we definitely, I'm going to try, but I don't know if I'll do it for as long, if I'm honest. I'll be happy with anything between 3 to 6 months. If I carry on going, then amazing. But yeah, I'm not going to plan to do it for a really long time, only because it's my second baby within a short amount of time. I work very hard, my work is very important and my business is, so I do need to have the kind of freedom for that, and I want to make sure I have time for my baby, but at the same time not put pressure on myself to do everything. So just be realistic that when I go back to work, I don't want to try and juggle a million things. I just want to be realistic about what helps and what's better for me, and I found that introducing the bottle was amazing. It just made me feel so much more calm and free and happy for her to be with other people. It made her feel more comfortable with other people as well, feeding her from the bottle, like family members. That was really good. So I'm hoping for a few months I can do it, but I'm not going to put pressure on myself either way. I didn't put pressure on myself the first time. It was just really lucky that we took to it well, and I thought, I'm going to make the most of this. Those lashes are so beautiful. They look really soft once they're on. I love little half lashes. Well, I always cut mine to half lashes anyway, so yeah, well done Jamie for actually bringing them out already cut. This is a good question, more of a longer term thing, but I'm sure you've thought about it. Are you going to do homeschooling for BB and sibling, or private school or public? Wow, I mean, you actually have to think quite far in advance, because apparently, you know, the waiting lists are so long. People said that she won't even get into nursery now if I wanted her to go, because yeah, the waiting lists are crazy. But we do have help. This is not part of the question, but I'm just going to explain why I'm not putting her into nursery anytime soon. My best friend Rachel, Rackstar Nails, she does my press-ons. She is a qualified nanny. Excuse me. Has been for like probably 10 years, I'm not sure. And she, during COVID, started her press-on nail business, which did really well, but missed nannying, so wanted to go back to it after lockdown. She still does all of the press-on nails, but now helps us. So it's amazing, because she's obviously auntie to BB, and she loves her more than I can imagine anyone that I could ever employ would love my child. So she helps out a couple of days a week, and it's so much fun because I just get to hang out with my mate, and she helps out loads, and yeah, just takes her to classes, obviously, you know, plays with her in her nursery, takes her out on walks, just does all the things that you would hope for, and also goes and meets up with other mums and children, so she gets that interactive time, and for me that's great. So yeah, that kind of is one part of the question of like nursery. I won't be putting her in nursery like until maybe she's 2, I reckon. In the future I'll put her into public, I have thought about this, so public like school until she's ready to go into high school, and then I might put her into private, or put them both into private. They're only going to be 1 year apart, only I need to think about this more. I was always not against private schools, but I just thought, why would anyone pay money to get the education you can get for free? But it just depends on what schools are in your area. So apparently there's some good private schools in our area. I don't like the idea of all girls or all boys because it's important, I think, to mix. I don't know. Everyone has different experiences and opinions and preferences, to be quite honest with you, but I would like her to have a good education. I had a perfectly fine education. I went to a public school. I'm glad I didn't go to a private school just because I wouldn't change anything. In fact, I found that my friends from public schools were really creative, all the people that I was drawn to, and are really successful in their life as artists, like from being choreographers to dance artists to singers to actual artists when it comes to fashion or painting and music. And then my friends from private schools, actually one of my good friends is a stylist as well from a private school, but I find that a lot of them have kind of more corporate businesses, and yeah, it's probably just the parents, isn't it? The parents that have kind of guided them in life, and perhaps parents that put their children into private schools are a little bit more in the business world, like the corporate business world, I don't know, and then a lot of parents are more creative that put their children into like specialist schools. I wasn't in a specialist school, it's like a public school that specialised in arts, the performing arts, so it was quite creative. But yeah, I think I am not opposed to either. It just all depends on the schools and what the children want, because they're likely to just want to go where their mates go. Sorry, that's such a long-winded answer to a question that probably not many of you want to know the answer to. You're hoping to film the second birth? Yes. Oh, but my first birth video was so epic. Well, I just loved the moment she came out. Like, nothing will beat that for me. Well, you never know. I probably will feel equally as overwhelmed, but yeah, I'm gonna film it. So we'll all see how that turns out, won't we? Who's going to watch BB when you go into hospital? Probably Rach or one of the grandparents. Guys, we're moving on to lips now, so I'm going to use this gorgeous lip liner. It's a shade called Rust Nude by Cash Beauty, my friend Kaylee. She has smashed it as well. I'm basically using my friend's makeup brands today. Sorry, my lips are quite dry though. They do get a bit dry during pregnancy. I wonder if that's a thing. They also swell up, so they look a bit bigger than usual. This is like a really nice kind of corky brown toned nude. I wouldn't say it says Rust Nude. Let me see what shade lipstick this is. Oh, that's nice. By Vive. Power Suit. Let's go straight in with this. Does this work? I don't know. Has a bit too much orangey undertones in it. How can we balance this out? Do you know what? Should we just go with it? Right, we're going for it, guys. I'm going to use the Fenty Cream in Peach Pout. We're going to do peach meets purple in this makeup look, which I actually feel works really well. My skin tone and the wig. I mean, that lip combo though. A couple more questions. I mean, there's so many questions. Do you think babies born in quarantine lockdown will be able to socialise normally? Yeah, totally. I think they're a bit more clingy to start off with, but I don't think it's going to affect them long term. Birdie's very like, she's already independent and, you know, doing all the things that any other baby that's not born in lockdown would be doing. So yeah, don't worry. I mean, any mums that have lockdown babies, they're going to be fine. Are you going to do the gender prediction videos? Yes, we're going to film testing out all the theories again like we did the first time round, and then find out a week or so later and see if it matches up. I want to do a what's in my hospital bag video, what to buy for newborns. Just don't want to miss anyone's question. How will you manage the night routine? Does your daughter sleep through the night? So yeah, I mean, I wake up a couple of times through the night, but I generally have about 9 to 10 hours sleep. So does Birdie. So it's going to be a challenge, and I hope that the new baby doesn't wake Birdie up again. But have the thinning areas in your hair filled more now? Yes, so I had lots of bald patches, didn't I? And they are starting to grow back. I'm going to do a video on that as well. just for my journey and what happened to my hair and how it's doing, what I used to help the growth. I'm gonna kick myself if I go back and I'm like, oh, I should have answered that. Do you want any more kids after this? So funny, as soon as you have one, people are like, when's the next one? As soon as you have another one, they're like, when's the third one? Yeah, probably will actually. But it all depends on how this birth goes and how it is with two. Might be done, but I doubt it. I already know that I do want a third. It just depends on everything. Oh wow, my wig. It's not even secured under this thing. Right, better sort that out. On another note, I'm feeling so much better. My face, it actually looks alive now. I just need to sort this wig out and wrap this video up. I'm just nervous that I haven't answered all your questions. I really hope that I got as many of them as possible. What are you appreciating more in this pregnancy? Oh, that's a good one. I'm actually appreciating Birdie. I'm appreciating just being with her and using this time to just really enjoy my time with her and not wish it away. Like, because I was a bit worried that I was getting carried away, getting busy with everything, getting back to life. But then falling pregnant again made me determined to really spend time with her and yeah, just pay attention and to not drift off with a million distractions. So yeah, I just appreciate time in general so much more, and that is a lot better. Just securing that wig. Wow, I feel like a new woman. I'm so sorry for the mood I was in at the beginning, but you know, you don't get much more real than that. And oh, I do feel extra stressed lately. It's such a whirlwind of a time. I literally have businesses and a full-time job, Instagram, 2 house renovations. I'm pregnant and I've got a baby too. So it is a lot, but I feel so grateful that that is what life has dealt me, honestly. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's just a particularly stressful time, but we'll get through it and be grateful for everything when we come out the other side. Like, everything's temporary, and that's a beautiful and a scary and sad thing all at the same time, because we know that every time we're sad, it's only temporary, or down or anxious, it's temporary. But we also know that the highs are temporary too. So it's all a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but we've got to just make the most of it and appreciate those around us and be grateful for our friends and family, and never get too consumed with like the anxieties of life to the point where other things that are right in front of us that are important, that don't last, are neglected. Wow, this is very philosophical. Deep. So that's been my pregnancy 2 Q&A. Get ready with me. I think it's come together beautifully. It's like a peachy, cosmic, purple dream. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. Thank you so much for your patience on just like me and uploads and everything, but we're still weekly vlogging. We've actually got a scan this week, and then we're packing for holiday, so I'm obviously going to vlog Dubai. I've got house renovations that are about to begin, so be sure to follow CC Clarke Home. Birdie Blue has her own Instagram page. I don't know if I'll turn it into like her and her brother or sister, but yeah, so feel free to follow that. Lots of things going on at the moment, and I am so grateful that you're part of this journey and that you support it. So thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Sorry Buzzy hasn't been in this video, by the way. He is like balls deep in decorating downstairs, and he just didn't really fancy taking part in it right now, but there wasn't really any questions for him. But he's just to let you know, he's over the moon. You can obviously see his reaction in a few videos back of when I told him that I'm pregnant again, and he's just so supportive and is an amazing dad and is really looking forward to having 2. He thinks it's the best thing ever. So he's definitely a bit more stressed because he feels like there's extra pressure to just get everything in order before the baby comes, but I think we're on the same page, like at all times, pretty much on the same page. We pick each other up and just compliment each other really nicely. So, and just we're obsessed with watching Birdie grow and talking about our plans for the future with the houses and the babies and life and everything. It's very exciting. But thank you again for watching, beauts, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. I love you lots. Bye.